Travis Mulrain was born in the outskirts of the capital city of southeast Port of Spain in a place called John John. He was the 10th child of his mother, Ruby Chewett, a part-time trader, and the second child of his father, Theophilus Mulrain, a master tailor and part-time electrician. He grew up in John John and started honing his footballing skills on the John John basketball court, simply known as D Court, where the motto is Tough JJ Tough. There were no fouls. At the age of 10, he represented his primary school, Bethlehem Boys RC, in the North Zone Primary School League, and that is where his love affair with football really began. After sitting common entrance exams in 1988, he passed for Woodbrook Government Secondary, not a traditional footballing school, but Allah Azza wa Jal wanted to prepare him for bigger things. At Woodbrook Secondary, he met Lennox Brown, the most influential coach of his career, who taught him the importance of putting in individual work to take his game to the next level. But most importantly, he taught him that he could achieve anything he set his mind to. This work ethic and self-belief propelled Travis from Woodbrook Sec to be recruited by Queen's Royal College, where in his second and final season, he was selected among the top 5 players in the country. This was also the year, at the age of 16, when he accepted Islam. A mere 2 years after leaving school, he was selected on the national senior team, where he made his debut in a 1-1 draw versus Jamaica. In 1997, Mulrain created a bit of history in becoming one of the few players in the country to play with the under-20, under-23, and senior national teams in one calendar year. In the year 2000, he attended the Major League Soccer draft and was a first-round 8th pick for the San Jose Earthquakes. He played 1 season in the MLS and returned home to play in the TT Pro League with W Connection, San Juan Jablote, and Joe Public, all of which he won league titles and Caribbean Club Championships. In 2004, Travis had the honor of being named the captain of the national senior team for a Gold Cup qualifying tournament. All this happened in the blessed month of Ramadan that year. Fasting and training was sometimes challenging, especially double sessions, but Allah Azza wa Jal provided him with the strength to see all his Ramadans through without once breaking his fast without a valid Islamic reason, for instance, traveling. Mulrain completed 1 year studying at the Darul Uloom and also had the honor of being under the tutelage of the likes of Imam Yassin Abu Bakr and Mufti Shahid Muhammad. Mulrain played his final season in the USA with the Fredericksburg Hotspurs before returning to Trinidad and Tobago to begin a full-time coaching career with Central Football Club. At present, Travis Mulrain is the head coach of Naparima College in the Secondary School Football League and Guaya United in Tier 2 of the TNT Premier Football League.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to Islam Chose Me with your host, Brother M.T. Solwazi, the activist educator. You could view us on IBN Channel 8, also on Facebook and tegotv.com. Remember, we have a rerun every Saturday at 6 p.m. inshallah. As mentioned, I'm your host, Brother M.T. Solwazi, the activist educator, and each week we will share the powerful journeys of our brothers and sisters who have embraced Islam. Their stories of discovery, struggle, and transformation remind us of the truth that Allah guides whom He wills in ways that inspire and motivate us all. And by now, based on the promo video you just saw, you know who our guest is today. We have with us our brother, our dear brother, Travis Mulrain. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
How are you, my brother?
Alhamdulillah.
So, Travis, I've been showcasing our emancipation through Islam awardees.
Yes.
Right? And we know that Travis, new era groundbreaker, sports.
Yes.
And if nobody in Trinidad know that Travis is the football man, then they don't know Travis. You understand? So show them your award, Travis, so they could see.
This is my award.
Yeah, subhanallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So Travis, let me start here first. This award in terms of football. What does that mean? And I want to make it real personal. 'Cause apart from all the other accolades, what does this mean for Travis Mulrain within that John John community?
Well, it's a very special award. It's the one and only award I've ever received from the Muslim community, acknowledging my endeavors in the field of sport. You know, so I'll have to say thank you again for recognizing my accomplishments, achievements, and contributions in the field of football.
So yeah, and because you're from John John, and I like it when persons identify where they're from,
All right.
because that's what helps shape, right?
Exactly.
Shape your character, shape your personality, shape who you are, right? And you have always, since I've known you, given back to John John. So before we get into that whole football era, tell us a bit about Travis growing up and what would have, because we know other guys' hearts to
Right.
Islam,
Right.
but there would have been some sort of, I want to say sign, but some pull that most of us would have gotten to take us within that journey. So tell us a bit about that journey.
Well, before I get into my journey to Islam, I think my era was probably the last era where we were fortunate enough to have really good role models in the community.
Okay.
Right? We didn't have to look outside too much. Of course, there were the negative elements,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
but we had good role models. You know, I always surrounded myself with older men. So I was always being guided along a certain path. So amazingly, I asked about my journey into Islam, and back in the early 90s, I remember looking at the news, 7 o'clock news, and I saw the Palestinian people and their struggles against oppression. And that is what kind of awoke my awareness towards Islam, because before, you know, you're coming from a Christian background and there's a different type of living. And then I saw this group of people fighting for their rights and, you know, against all these odds. And that is what really attracted me. And
Interesting.
jump forward to today, they are basically going through the same struggle,
thing, yeah.
magnified by 100 times.
Yeah.
You know? So, alhamdulillah, that he opened my heart towards Islam, and the journey continues.
And I like how you stamped that, because even though you said 1990, in the 90s, that struggle started way before that, too, eh?
Way before that. Yes.
But I like how for your
Yes.
personal experience.
That was my first experience recognizing,
So it's not October the 7th.
not October. the 7th.
No, I like us to really hammer that home now, because like people feel this thing start October the 7th, about two or 3 years ago, you know. And it didn't just start in 1990. It started way before that.
Yeah.
You know. But that is interesting that a lot of used that struggle
Yeah.
to open your heart and open your mind to think and go towards this direction, right? So let me fast forward now in terms of your, because Travis, you have a very decorated, because you're no old man.
Not decorated enough.
I like that.
You know,
Decorated football career, boy. So let me start from how that started.
Well, it started with some disappointment, right? My first foray into international football, I didn't make the last cut with the squad. That's
Right.
under 15s because of an injury. Fast forward 2 years after, same outcome, national under 17s, injury again, you know. So this is a journey of real steadfastness and determination. You know, I was determined to make it on the field.
Yeah.
You know, so the little setbacks and obstacles, I didn't let it deter me. Continued working hard. And of course, when Islam came, that only reinforced that mentality. It added a bit of discipline to my life. And, you know, I was able to go all the way up to the senior team. So my first national team was in 1994, the national under 20 team, right? Keith Lockloy was our coach. And after that, it was not smooth sailing, but I sailed all the way to the top, even captaining the national team for a couple of games in a Gold Cup qualifying series.
Now, you mentioned the under 15s. So what school would that be?
Well, at that time, I was attending Woodbrook Government Secondary.
Okay.
In about a year or two after passing for Woodbrook, I transferred to Queen's Royal College.
Okay.
You know, that was basically the first door that football opened for me.
At QRC?
At QRC, because our coach at the under 15 level, Mr. Jal Lillywhite, one of the best coaches that I've ever worked with, he was also the coach at QRC. Okay. So he did some serious recruiting, you know. So guys like Jeremy Short, Walter Allaby, he's now in journalism with The Guardian. Those guys were my teammates at that time, you know, and we formed a very strong team in the 90s. Ourselves and Malik, we were the two contending superpowers in the North Zone at that time.
You know? Now, you mentioned injury, and it's interesting that you had those injuries so early in your career, because I know that'd be a kind of sore point for a lot of footballers.
Injuries are the worst part of a footballer's career.
Yeah.
You know, in hindsight, I would rather sit on the bench all season than get one injury.
Yeah, boy.
You know, it is a depressing thing. And if you're not mentally strong, it could really have a negative effect on you. You know, so I had my fair share of injuries throughout the years. But again, you know, with Islam, you know, it strengthens you. You know that nothing happens unless the qadar of Allah, it is decreed. Everything is decreed. You know, and you work your way back and try to come back stronger.
Yeah, because the rehab.
Yeah, that's the difficult time.
That is it. Boy.
And that there's also the mental aspect where you're not as brave as you would be before. Because of the injury.
Yes. You know? Once bitten, twice shy.
Twice shy. And then sometimes you are injured in one part of your body, you overcompensate
on the
other part, and 2-3 games into your return, you re-injure yourself. Another part of your body would get injured. So like right quadriceps, left quadriceps, overcompensating, taking all the strain over the period of time of rehab and recovery. And if you don't strengthen this left quadriceps enough, you can be back on the injury table.
I want to belabor this too much about that. You see that injury. Chavez had no youth men who pack up, boy, early in their career because of injury.
Yes.
You talking about, you mentioned two, but you say multiple. You know, tell us about that mindset to get back, because they said you wanted to go back on the field, right?
Well, there's
tell
also
us about that mindset to get back on that field.
There's also an element where you have to be patient as well, because some youngsters, they want to play.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that it's better to stay out 1 month than 6 months. So you have to be mindful. The people around you have to tell you the truth, because sometimes these coaches are transactional people. They don't really care about the athletes, so they want them back as quickly as possible.
To win a game.
To win. So like Intercol, for instance, you know,
boy.
Force a player back before he's ready. He re-injures himself, you know, and that's why parenting is so important. A lot of these athletes, their parents do not play the role that they should play in their lives, and they are exploited.
Travis, whilst I was at Suval, there was this young boy who came from a secondary school, and he's in the ADP, the Adolescent Development Program.
Okay.
And then his mother called and said, "Sir, talk to him." I said, "What happened?" The coach, because I'm sure you know about this racket they used to run, the coach for the secondary school
Right.
wanted to bring him back to play intercol, although he's not attending the school, right? It's just to play intercol to win. And the boy was adamant he going back. And I say, you're not in a, you know, what you're going back to do? To walk the corridor
To play football?
for the entire day?
To play football?
And listen, it was a battle to get that little boy not to go back. Because you're not in the school again. You're in a different school. It's just to go back to play this, this intercol dream boy.
Yeah.
And I like how he says that, because if that mother didn't take that step to say, "Hey, sir, I need help."
A lot of these top players at the intercol level, secondary schools level, they don't come out with any passes, and basically that's the end.
Yeah.
Because making it as a professional footballer is not an easy thing. It says 0.0005% of top youth players go on to play professionally or internationally at the top level.
I need
senior level.
to have a lifespan.
Right. 10 to 15 years. Now with technology and advances in nutrition and stuff, you could play 15 years at the
Okay.
top level. You know, you see guys like Modric and Ibrahimovic, Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo,
Yeah.
they still performing at a high level because of these things. You know, back in the day when you hit 30, for the most part,
that
they
is it,
start
yeah.
going
Declining,
downhill,
yeah.
you know. So it's very important, and it's interesting that in the cricket league, there is a standard where student athletes must be performing at the 50% level academically. But for some reason, the Football League doesn't see it fit to insist that these players have at least that 50% mark of performance in academics. So these are things that we need to look at, you know, in the society.
Chavez, it's interesting how this conversation going this way, because you know Umar Baliwa from Maloney.
Yes, yes.
Umar would run football leagues in Maloney. And he will ensure that those little boys not just perform well at school, he will go into the school, check them. They have to submit the report card at the end of the term. That will help them qualify to, apart from training,
Right.
to play in the league. And not just the performance at school, he checking them at home to ensure they're not giving mommy no disrespect or granny no disrespect, or, you know, any kind of problems then.
Yeah, that's
And
the role.
that is
That's,
an individual. So that is interesting.
that's the influence a coach can have on the lives of children. But he is a transformational coach. I just use the word transactional. He is different. He really cares about the well-being of these children. You know, they are coaches. After you leave secondary school, you win 2-3 titles for them. They don't care if you go up, down, or center. You know, so again, it's up to the parents to ensure that their children balance academics
with the
football.
football.
Now, I am talking from a position where I didn't do that.
But I know,
Right?
Travis, I know what I'm
I
asking
did.
you.
I was totally focused
Wow.
on football because from a very young age, I made up my mind I wanted to be a professional footballer. But I was always good academically,
Okay.
right? So it was easy for me to bounce back after my career was over. I went to Cipriani, did some studies, you know, studied project management, you know, got a degree. So it was easy for me. I was always good academically.
Okay,
But for
okay.
those who are not
who
that
don't have
gifted,
that, yeah, don't have
you know,
that.
it's a real struggle
It is.
making that adjustment from, you know, playing sport into coming into the real world. because a sportsman lives a kind of charmed life. You know, you get everything kind of laid on a table for you, traveling all over the world, staying at the best hotels, you know, free gear, well, free travel, of course, because you don't pay to travel, you know. So it's a charmed lifestyle, and if you don't make the most of it, at the end of your career, it could be a very tough time making the adjustment into what we could say civilian life. Because a sportsman is not an ordinary individual, you know. The discipline of your lifestyle is different. But of course, you see players who are indisciplined, what happens to their careers?
Yeah, boy.
You know? So you compare...
Earlier clock, they're gonna
Yeah, you compare
earlier.
Messi, Christie with a Neymar. Big difference. Neymar is younger than these two guys, and he can't play 3 months without getting injured. Lifestyle, levels of professionalism, you know, so it's important. And nowadays, we need to instill this in the youngsters even more, because you see Trinidad and Tobago just failed to qualify for the World Cup, an all-Caribbean group. 20 years ago, we will give an arm and a leg, as they say, to end up in an all-Caribbean group to qualify for a World Cup. FIFA has increased the number of spots, right? We have a situation where no Mexico, no USA, no Canada. So we really need to invest in the youth, grassroots programs, community programs to rebuild our football.
So, all right. I'm going to take it back to you in terms of that your career coming up, and I want to ask you, what are you doing? Because I know you're doing a lot of work, but the viewers need to know what you're doing in terms of contributing to that grassroots level. So in terms of your career coming up, right, can you tell us what were some defining moments for you as a young footballer, right, be it at the secondary school level or pro football?
Well, for me, one of the most influential people in my career was my coach at Woodbrook Government Secondary. As I said, that was one of the first places that football started giving back. It opened the door for me to go into Queen's Royal College and display, showcase my talents at which is the best youth league in the country for the last, 6 decades.
The Intercol?
Yes. So I had a coach, his name was Lennox Brown, you know, very knowledgeable. And, you know, that's some of the sad realities of our football. You know, such a great coach like him, and he was never even given the chance to coach at the highest level. You know, for whatever reason, I don't know if he wasn't interested in doing it or not, but he played an integral role in my football education. Because one of the issues we have in today with footballers, they are not students of the game, right? If you don't understand and have a certain level of knowledge about things like nutrition, tactical stuff, technical stuff, you'll just be playing the game and just reacting.
Just kicking a ball.
Instead of being conscious about what you're doing. Right, so you're talking about kicking. So you
kicking
have kicking, just kick the ball. You have shooting, when you go for power, and then you have finishing. 3 different things. Finishing is what you see Messi doing on a regular basis. Most of Messi's goals is from the inside of his foot. He passed the ball in the net. Accuracy, looking at where the keeper is positioned, all these little intricate things. And then it's kicking. You just kick the ball anywhere, it goes wherever, you know. So from a young age, Mr. Brown told me that. Say, don't always have to use power. You know, sometimes you stroke the ball into a corner and stuff like that. So I think I was fortunate to have people like that throughout my career. You asked about what I'm doing.
Transformational
Yes.
coaches, not transactional.
Yes. You asked about the now. I am presently the technical director of Trendsetter Hawks Football Academy. the best academy in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. We have produced the most national youth and senior players. So we just had Real Gill, Daniel David, Jesse Williams, Atula Guerra. These are the guys that passed through our academy, just to name a few.
Yeah.
We had one guy, Denzel Theobald, he played with the Soca Warriors, 2006. Kerwin Jamot, and I could go on and on, you know. So that's me giving back.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the technical director there, and I'm trying to take the academy to another level where we could at least try selling players abroad. But that dream has to come with players who have the ambition to do it. You know, and that is one of the main ingredients that is missing today. You know, I remember my era of players, we always wanted to play abroad. So we would work towards that. But if your goal is just to play in the TT Pro League or the Tier 1 as they call it now,
That is interesting.
you would work towards that. You know, so that's one of the major issues we have in today.
Travis, I want us to continue on that vein, but we have to take a break because that is interesting. You know, that kind of reminds me of a statement I heard Marshall Montano made that time in terms of performing, you know. And if you're thinking local alone to perform.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Exactly, yeah.
that is a nice point to take a break. So viewers, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation with our host, Brother Travis Mulrain. Assalamu alaikum.
Never too early, never too late to recharge and hydrate. Get your daily dose the right way. Grab an Oasis, now why wait? Never too early, never too late to recharge and hydrate. Get your daily dose the right way. Grab an Oasis, now why wait? The greatest, the safest, Oasis for sure. Oasis, it's purer than pure.
Fruitopia, the drink that rocks your lunchtime. Fruitopia, Fruitopia, it's a drink that's high. The citrus punch, fruit punch tastes nice. Guava, pineapple, that give me a vibe. We no want nothing less compared to the rest. Fruitopia the best. Punch any thirst when it comes to the test. Perfect thing for my lunch. Flavors pack a punch. Fruitopia, Fruitopia, it's a drink that's high. The citrus punch, fruit punch tastes nice. Fruitopia, the drink that rocks your lunchtime.
Try our new passion fruit flavor today. Taste the passion.
A meeting of friends, a familiar place, the first sip of something special, a moment of connection, a journey into nature, the sound of flowing water, the warmth of the sun, laughter, friendship, and a taste as bright as the moment. A bond between father and son. Lessons passed down, memories created. The cool touch of the river, the crackle of a fresh drink. Moments like these are what stay with us forever. A sip of serenity, refreshing and pure. The gentle rustle of leaves. A push beyond limits, strength in motion. Every step, every heartbeat, every challenge met with unstoppable power inside. The fuel to go further, to push harder, to be more. The grind, the focus. And at the end of the day, we come together. A table full of flavors, a room filled with laughter, a night of stories and memories. Different tastes, different best things in life aren't just tasted, they're shared. Taste Sultan drinks now. You know what you drink.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back, viewers, to Islam Chose Me, because every path to Islam is a story worth sharing. And before I get back to my guest, my special guest, Brother Travis Marine, what you hear earlier? Remember, ex-Barbarin in Shogunas there, right, on the southern main road as they go into the highway. So if you know where Montrose Moss is, on the next side, when you go by X, tell him empty must send you. Right. Yes, Brother Travis.
Yes.
Now, you were speaking about in terms of that mindset, right? And you know, I have to make that mention with Marshall talking about we performing for local, right? That mindset of staying local and not thinking international. Because you mentioned that when you were younger, your peers, you all wanted to travel. Now, in the video we saw earlier, you mentioned about Rough JJ, Rough or something?
Right, yes. Rough JJ Rough.
Rough JJ Rough. And I know most, well, I think all footballers will have started off in a small goal post.
Yes.
That, whether they're sweating in a car park
or basketball.
or a basketball,
court, yeah.
because Jerry Nixon started off in the car park in Melonia.
Yes.
Right? So a lot of men start off in car park, basketball court, right? But few men, Travis, few men, right? I'm not a sports analyst, but I know few men fail to transition from that small goal or that small post to big goal. Tell us two things. One, how did Rough, what is Rough?
Rough JJ Rough.
Rough JJ Rough, how did that shape you in transitioning from that small goal to big goal?
Well, that phrase rough JJ Rough means that it's about gladiator stuff. Right? When we were sweating long ago, whether it's basketball or football, because I did play basketball competitively as well with Woodbrook Government Secondary.
Okay.
In fact, I played competitive basketball before football.
Interesting.
Because the team at Woodbrook wasn't a very good team. So I started off playing basketball.
Okay.
And then I was encouraged to play some football as well. And that is where I met Mr. Brown. So in John John, there's a thing where there's no foul. No foul.
No foul?
No foul.
Is that a duck?
Yeah. You have to duck sometimes some tackles. So kick, cuff, elbow, shoulder, you know, there's a little drain at the side of the field. So these things helps to hone your skills. So when I started playing big field football,
But Travis,
a lot of people
your
knew
stature,
me.
I don't think you have ever been a big...
No.
So no fouls, you say?
No fouls. But anybody who knew me know I was a very aggressive player, right? So that background is what shaped that. You know, I would never shy away from a battle. You know, I was fearless. No matter who I was coming up against. You know, I remember playing once against Ronaldinho, Brazil under 23 team. We received 7 goals, but still, you know. And it was no fear whatsoever. And Islam also instilled that in me as well. So, but that background of playing on that basketball court in John John, it really shaped who I was on the field.
Yeah.
You know, very aggressive, fearless, you know. So that's what rough JJ Rough.
No
mean.
fouls.
No fouls. Yes.
And so that transition from that small goal to big goal, how was it?
Well, it's
Because a
all
lot of men didn't make that transition, about Travis.
It's all about ambition and dedication. Because one of the things that would differentiate a player is training. Going to training every day, being on time every day, putting your best foot forward every day. Some players come to training to fool around, and I tell my players at the academy, I say, do not waste time, because time is something you don't ever get back.
No.
You could come up the road, your mom or your dad gave you $100 and you lose it. You could get back that $100 tomorrow. When you waste 1 hour of your life, you can't get it back.
1 second.
You will never get it
1
back.
second, imagine
So I
that.
always try to encourage them, when they come to practice, have a goal, set a goal. What am I going to try to improve on today? Using my left foot, my dribbling, passing, goal scoring, you know? So it's not just an exercise in futility.
Yeah.
You set a goal and you come and you work towards it. So we were talking about standards, local standards, international standards. And I think that is one of the issues that we have today, in that we don't try to uphold international standards
Within the game.
within the game, and especially where performance is concerned. You know, and not to be critical, but I'm just drawing a reference here. You know, a lot of people spoke about the ball possession, the superiority in our ball possession versus Jamaica. But Jamaica had a game plan to sit back and allow us ball possession. They weren't interested in stopping us from having the ball being passed between the back four and the defensive midfielder, right? So the possession that we had, it was not progressive, it was not dangerous, you know. A game that you had to win, you know, we didn't, in my opinion, we didn't push hard enough, you know. So, again, standards. And some people, I hear them say that the team actually performed very well. I don't know. Again, standards. So it's not being critical of anybody, it's just the reality. You know, you don't win your home matches, you can't qualify for a World Cup. That's just the reality. And we played 2 home matches thus far, and we have 2 points to show out of a possible 6. You know, so I'm hurting. That's what I'm talking about. I'm hurting. The easiest chance you will get to qualify for a World Cup in a very long time. All Caribbean group, no Mexico, no America,
No Canada.
no Canada. But Allah is the best of planners.
So that is interesting. Well, to move away a bit from that national football, I know, I saw you start a program now, a night football, or what's?
It's the David Nakid Academy East-West Corridor Football League. So this was David Nakid's brainchild, because as you know, the Eddie Hart Football League has been a league that has showcased and nurtured a lot of talent over the years. It has gone dormant. So David Nakid decided to...
As a non-sportsman, I bring my great memories here, but I remember that.
that was a very big minor league.
Me no football, I remember that league.
Yeah. So with the kind patronage of the Honorable Prime Minister, you know, we are embarking on this project. We want 48 teams throughout the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago. We have 5 zones in Trinidad and 1 zone in Tobago. Right? We want 8 teams per zone, 48 teams. Hopefully we get that number. And we are targeting the communities and the young people in the communities. We are having scouts coming from Spain and the US to look at players. And also at the end of the tournament, we want to take an all-star team to Spain. Again, we're exposing the talent that we have.
Not a combine, but one team.
No, we pick the best players.
I like that, boy.
From
Yes,
each team.
boy.
You know?
Yeah, each zone.
Yes, each team, each zone.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea.
We go try to tour Spain and expose them. Hopefully 1 or 2 of these guys may be lucky, get a contract. You know? And that is what we need to do. We need to expose our athletes to the highest level of competition.
I like that. So it hasn't started as yet.
No, it hasn't started as yet. Actually, tomorrow morning we do the launch at TTT at 7 a.m., right? And we hope to start early December, inshallah. And it should be a success.
Yeah.
I mean,
So that is good. So we are asking teams to register.
yes, we are
what-
asking.
which process-
Registration is going well at the moment. Not as well as we hoped, you know. By now we should have been full, but we are almost there.
Okay,
We are
okay.
almost there, alhamdulillah. Because we were actually supposed to start on the 22nd, you know, but we had one or two little issues, and that's been sorted. And it's going very well, you know. Certain zones are filled, other zones are almost filled, you know. So they can contact me at 790-1033. Okay, that's my number. Give me a call if you have a team that is interested in participating. But we really want to tap into community teams.
And they big
sure.
posts, obviously.
Yes, 11 aside.
Yeah, 11. Yeah.
You know, it's open. So hopefully we get players from the secondary school football.
Only boys or girls involved?
No, boys. Only boys
for this program.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that is interesting. So Travis, apart from this league, what's next for Travis Mullery?
Well, I've learned throughout my career not to think too far ahead.
Okay,
You know, I have some plans that I try to live one day at a time. You know, I've had many plans in my life and they never came to fruition. So, as I said, I live one day at a time. So I'm focused on this tournament, focused on what I'm doing with Trendsetter
with the club,
Hawks,
yeah.
right? I also work at the Madrasa Al Muslimin Primary School. You know, as I'm a PE teacher there and dean of discipline. Also do some Islamic studies, you know. So, you know, that's me trying to, you know, nurture some youth.
So with the Trendsetter, have girls on that team also?
Yes, we have a female
Female
team.
league?
And
Ages?
the female team they are under 17.
Okay, okay.
And we also have one or two girl players, because at a young level, you're allowed to have girls play with the boys.
I've been seeing that on television with some games. You have girls on the team too with the boys.
But at a younger level, pre-puberty.
So under what?
So- No, that'll be like under 9s, under 11s, that kind of thing.
To me, like I saw older girls play.
But we don't allow the girls, when they get older, to play with the boys. They could
your team, but I
grow
saw,
up,
I think
yeah.
I saw it on television, one or two girls big girls on our side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And at Muslimin, they say that you're in charge of PE.
Yeah, PE.
So besides football, you only watch basketball?
We do a little basketball every now and again, cricket. But these boys love football.
Okay, okay.
So they basically every day they
Well,
want to play
it's
football.
Muslimin, you know. You have a Travis Mullery. You have a oh boy, oh God.
Atula Guerra's son actually
Yeah,
is going to the
Jamal
school.
Shabazz.
Yes.
Yeah, Abu Bakr, what's his name? Rodanfa.
Yes.
You know, plenty footballers come out of Mukrapo, you know. So obviously, and that in itself is a very interesting thing because, again, they're seeing a measure of success. If in your community, your mosque, have national players,
Yeah.
then there's a possibility you could be the next national player coming out of that lot. So yeah, and I think
we have some talented boys, but again,
I think that's a good thing to push, man.
putting in the work and family support, there's a lot of factors that goes into making it at that level. You know?
But do you have like Jamal and Rodolfo coming in and having a chat with them?
Well, but Donfa gave us some equipment, gave us a lot of balls.
Because I think he runs a league in the West.
I'm not sure about that.
I
I think
saw
he's doing some
something
work with sports and games. So he.
Oh, I think I saw something on Facebook with him and forward with some sports. I could be mistaken, but yeah. Yeah,
Well, and of course, Jamal, if we ever need, we can call
Yeah.
upon him, so.
could it be nice for them to, because as I say, locally, at the Jamat level,
Yes.
you have 3 national players move on to coach, so it is real, that is something uplifting, inspiring, motivating. So I know you could really use that.
Yes,
as a benchmark for them.
hopefully with these younger members, we can restart having a decent sports program going.
At the Jamat.
Yeah, because the older boys, they're not too much on sports and that kind of thing. So hopefully we can put that together, inshallah.
Yes, but you also do basketball. What about cricket with them?
Yeah, we do some cricket, for the last couple P sessions, and they really enjoyed it.
Okay.
So plan to implement it a bit more and teach them about the game, because it's amazing. Back in our days, we played football, cricket, basketball.
Yeah.
Some of them, they play one sport. Some of them play no sport. So I don't know. It's a different time.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a different time.
there's a lot happening too
Yes,
with young
yes.
people in the communities, in
Yeah.
the homes.
Yeah, we were allowed.
More challenging.
Yeah, we were able to play like 11 o'clock at night. Now
that-
in certain areas,
That be real travelers.
yeah,
that
that
ain't
can't happen
Hello,
anymore.
that ain't happening.
Yeah, that's the
not-
reality.
Yeah, that's not happening again. And that is why I like the idea of this league that you're all starting, because we need to find a way to have youth congregate and enjoy being young.
Yeah, that league should be a success, inshallah.
To enjoy being young, because that is something we benefited from,
Yes.
right? As much as it had violence back in our time, you could have still play outside till 11 in the night.
I think one of the things with back in our time growing up, some of the violent people would give you good advice. Some of the violent people would give, hey, you're a good footballer. Make sure and work hard and
Stay in school.
succeed. Yeah. Nowadays it's different. There's a big difference. So, I don't like to really get into those conversations. For me, talking about those things kind of gives them life and energy. So we can't bury our heads in the sand, of course.
No.
But I like to more deal with the positive aspects of things, and whenever that time comes to deal with those things, we deal with it.
Yeah. Well, it's really good at, well, one, your journey in terms of sports, which you say is not
Decorated enough.
decorated enough. I would take that. No, but it's really an achievement. And coming from communities that we would have come from, where sometimes it's just one might make it. So when one make it or two make it, is really a celebration. And in terms of giving back too, because I know you would have run leagues back home there.
Well, I don't run much leagues because for me,
No, it was in John.
yeah, for me personally, while I'm assisting a friend of mine, he came back. I donated some trophies and stuff. I always try to look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And as you say, I don't like to encourage too much of the small goal. I would more gravitate towards futsal.
Okay.
Because the futsal has opportunities in it. There's no small, well, there is, but futsal, you could end up on the futsal national team. And you could travel, you could.
I always wanted to find out what is the real difference, because futsal is like hockey post.
Right, there's a hockey post and you're allowed a goalkeeper. So for the player's development, there's the shooting aspect that remains.
Okay.
You could score a header, you could score a volley, you could kick with your instep. With the small goal, it encourages players have to get closer to the goal because of the size of the goal to shoot. Now, of course, you could score from a long distance, but it's much more difficult.
Yeah.
So FIFA has moved away from the small goal
To the hockey
to
post.
the hockey size post. So the same size field, same amount of players, but they have maintained that shooting, finishing, aspect of the game. Because I have found from my experience, like off season, play a lot of small goal. When you go back to the big field, that shooting, you lose that aggression.
That transition.
So
Yeah, but so, all right. Travis, I really enjoyed this conversation, and I want to wish all the best with that league.
yes, thanks.
Tell us a bit again how to contact you and what the name of the league.
The DNA East-West Corridor Football League, David Naked Academy. You can contact me at 790-1033.
Nice. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
What a moving and insightful conversation, as usual, on Islam Choose Me. I want to thank our guest, Brother Travis Moraine, for sharing his story with us today. May Allah continue to strengthen our faith and guide us all on a straight path.
Ameen.
If you have been touched by what you have heard, and I know you have been touched by what you have heard, remember that guidance is a mercy from Allah. Seek knowledge, ask questions, and reflect on the beauty of Islam. If you want to share your story, contact me, Brother Mtima Solwazi, at 479-4510. And if you want to sponsor Islam Choose Me or any other program on IBN, reach out to Brother Hasib Majid at 795-5900. Join us again next Sunday at 9 a.m. inshallah for another episode of Islam Choose Me, because every path to Islam is a story worth sharing. And remember, you can view reruns on Saturdays at 6 p.m. inshallah. Again, it's your host, Mtima Solwazi, the Artivist Educator. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Do you realize the importance of what you're holding? Do you really recognize what Allah has blessed you with? If you are blinded to this, if your mind is sealed from this, if you are oblivious from this, you have a major problem in your faith. Brothers and sisters, don't undermine what you have been blessed with. When you say La ilaha illallah, say it with beauty, with happiness, with izzah, with love, with desire, with wantonness,